Hello students, today we will learn that what is the concept of centrifugal tension in a belt drive. Okay, we know this thing that in case we want to transfer the power of one pulley to another pulley, then belt drive is used, means a belt is applied in a loop, so in which one is the driver, other is the driven. So by the help of the belt the power is transmitted. Okay, so what is this concept of the centrifugal tension developed in the belt? For that we will talk about. Okay, so over here what you can see, this is a green colored pulley over which there is a belt. It can be a driver, it can be driven, whatever the type of pulley is, a belt is there which is applied over it on the circumference. Okay, now what happens, this belt is flexible, so you can imagine that it can be compressed as well as released. Okay, I have shown here by the help of these small springs, okay, imaginary springs. Just I want to show this thing that the belt can be pressed over the circumference as well as can be released because it is flexible. Okay, now what happens, suppose the pulley starts spinning. So what will happen, whenever a body spins taking some axis at some radius r, then a type of centrifugal force is developed on that body. If a body spins around some axis, then okay, so what happens, initially when the pulley is not running, you can see that the thickness of belt is this much, whatever the thickness is. Okay, now in case it starts spinning, due to centrifugal force, what will happen, this belt will start extending. Okay, because centrifugal force always acts in a direction away from the axis of rotation, in radial direction. In opposite direction the force will act, so it will make the belt to expand a little, okay, in radial direction. However, this much extension will not take place. Just to make you understand, I have shown you this much thickness has been increased of belt due to centrifugal tension. Okay, now we will analyze it. See, this is the belt running over the pulley, okay, and a very small section of this belt is taken. Okay, when it is running and centrifugal force is developed and belt is extended, thickness is increased. Okay, very small section whose length is dl, actually it is arc over the circumference, over the pulley circumference, it is a sort of arc. So what happens, the tension on the belt at that point, okay, you can see these two arrows are showing the direction of tensions applied on that very small section. Okay, so from that tension vectors I have drawn a radius which is ultimately connecting to the center of this pulley. Okay, and this is subtending an angle d theta. That's it. These two lines, these radius lines are actually, these are the tension vectors applied on that very small section dl. Okay, and these two radiuses are actually at an angle 90 degree for those tensions. Okay, so here it is the magnified view. Okay, so what you see, these two vectors AB and AC are representing the two tension vectors. Okay, and this radius starting from this tension vector ultimately meeting at the center. Okay, this is radius r and it is making 90 degree over here. Okay, you can compare the two. Similarly, this tension vector also again making an angle 90 degree and ultimately reaching to the center. These are two radiuses of this pulley. Okay, now this is a bisector I have drawn, so which is bisecting this d theta angle into two parts, d theta by 2, you can see. Okay, now from this end of this vector tension, now from this tip of this tension vector T, that is B, a perpendicular is drawn on the bisector, you can see a perpendicular. Similarly, from this tension vector, that is also same magnitude, these two tensions are same, from the end perpendicular is dropped on this bisector. Okay, now if this angle is d theta by 2, then this angle will also be d theta by 2. How we can prove this thing? See, this is d theta by 2 and this is 90 degree. Now in this triangle ODE, this angle has to be 90 minus del theta by 2 because the summation of all the three angles of a triangle is always 180 degree. So here it will be 90 minus d theta by 2. So opposite side will also be 90 minus d theta by 2. Now this angle at point F is 90 degrees. So 90 plus 90 minus d theta by 2. So here it must be d theta by 2 because again for this triangle EBF also the summation of all the three angles of triangle must be 180 degree. So d theta by 2 will be the angle at B. Say like same you can prove this thing that at point C also the angle will be d theta by 2 like this. Okay, now what happens, that centrifugal force is acting on this very small section in radially opposite direction away from the center. Okay, so that vector is say AM and centrifugal force is given by what, mv square by r. Okay, m is the mass of body, v is the tangential velocity, and r is the radius with which it is spinning. Okay, so here for this very small section dl, suppose the mass is dm. Okay, so dm, whatever the tangential velocity over there, so dm v square by r. So this vector am has to be balanced by the components of these two tension vectors. Those are actually ad, because the component which is just acting opposite to this vector am is actually ad. So t sin d theta by 2, that is equals to vector ab, plus t sin d theta by 2. So that collectively will actually work against this centrifugal force dm v square by r. So here I have written 2t, because t sin d theta by 2 plus t sin d theta by 2, so that will make 2t sin d theta by 2. So that is equals to the centrifugal force dm v square by r. Okay, so this sin d theta by 2 can be written as d theta by 2, reason being this d theta is very small. Okay, so for very small angle, sin theta and theta are same, so I have removed this sign. So ultimately I can cancel 2, and here this dm can be written as what? Imagine that the mass per unit length of belt is say m, means if 1 meter of belt is there, suppose its mass is 2 kg, then 2 kg per meter, like this. So mass per unit m is say small m, so m into this very small length will give the mass of this very small section. So in place of this dm, I have written m dl. Okay, m is mass per unit length and dl is the length of that very small section. Okay, so I have written over here, ultimately we are getting this t d theta equals to m dl into v square by r. Now this dl can be written as what? Since dl is actually arc of this circle, okay, this pulley circle, the arc is actually dl. So theta equals to arc by radius. Okay, so arc equals to what? R d theta. Okay, so in place of this dl, I can write what? R d theta. So d theta can be cancelled, LHS and RHS. Similarly, this r can be cancelled because it is one r is in the denominator, so that also being cancelled. So ultimately, I am getting t equals to mv square. Okay, here m is the mass per unit length of the belt, v is the tangential velocity. This is what the centrifugal tension will be. Means these two tension vectors will be of this much value, then only they can work against whatever the centrifugal force is applied on the belt. Okay, so hope by this small lecture you would have understood what is the concept of centrifugal tension in a belt drive. Thank you.